Today, we're talking about an absolute legend in the world of sports, Bernardinho. We're talking multiple Olympic medals, world championships, you name it, he's won it. But the real secret to his success, the thing that makes him different, isn't what you'd think. It's a whole philosophy, and it's built on a pretty surprising idea. Just let that sink in for a second. This is a guy at the absolute top of his game. He's won everything there is to win. And he's saying that the more he won, his doubts didn't go away. They actually got bigger. How does that even work?
So that's the big paradox we're going to unpack here. It's a question that goes way beyond just winning games. It gets into the heart of what it takes to have sustained, real excellence. Bernardinho's whole journey shows us a type of leadership that's so powerful because it isn't built on just being certain all the time.
And the answer, believe it or not, starts with something we don't always associate with elite athletes and coaches: humility.
Now, this isn't about being meek or playing small. No. It's the total opposite. It's an active, powerful decision to always be learning. Because the second you think you've got it all figured out, that's the second you stop getting better. For Bernardinho, truly understanding that you don't know everything, that's the real launch pad for leadership.
And this idea of humility, it builds into this brilliant metaphor he uses to really test a leader's character. He calls it the theory of the mirror and the window.
And it's so powerful because it's so simple. Okay, a false leader, when things go right, they look right in the mirror. I did this. This was me. But when things go wrong, they're looking straight out the window, pointing fingers at everyone else. A true leader, though, flips that script completely. When the team wins, they look out the window and give all the credit to the team. But when they lose, they look right in the mirror and ask, what could I have done differently? So here's the bottom line. Looking good when you're winning is easy. Anyone can do that. The real test of your character, the real test of a leader, is how you deal with failure. Do you own it or do you pass the blame? That one choice, right there, tells you everything you need to know.
This brings us to the next piece of the puzzle, and it's all about what your team does when the cameras are off and nobody is around to give you credit. This is where a championship culture is really forged. So check this out. It's 2003, Bernardinho's team gets to Amsterdam for a big tournament. And guess what? The gym's locked. It's a national holiday. They don't complain. They don't make excuses. They find a parking lot and they train. Now fast forward 13 years. 13 to the Rio Olympics. A totally different group of players, different city. Morning practice gets canceled. What do? The exact same thing. They find a parking lot and they get to work. That's not an accident, people. That's culture. So why do it? Why train in a parking lot? Because doing things like that builds something he calls senso di merecimento, which translates to a sense of deserving. It's this rock-solid belief, deep down, that when the pressure is on, you deserve to win. Why? Because you did the work when no one was watching. You made the sacrifices. It's the ultimate weapon against doubt. Okay, so if that's the culture, what kind of person actually thrives in it? When Bernardinho is putting a team together, there is one non-negotiable trait he looks for above absolutely everything else. You'd probably think it's raw talent, right? Or maybe height, or just pure power. But it's none of those. So what is it? What's the one thing he believes is the absolute key? The answer is a single, powerful word in Portuguese: vontade. It means will. It means desire. But it's more than that. It's that relentless, burning fire inside to get better, to push past your limits, to do whatever it takes. That's the engine that drives a champion. He tells this amazing story about a tryout with about 50 young athletes. There's one girl who, on paper, is the weakest one there. Technically, she's at the bottom. But her energy, her hustle, her vontade, it was just off the charts. The coach took a huge risk and picked her. Well, that same girl that everyone else overlooked, she went on to become an Olympic medalist. And here's why that's so important. Someone with a massive will can grow their talent to unbelievable levels. But someone who's super talented without that inner fire, they almost never reach their true potential. Will is the ultimate game changer. It multiplies everything else. So when you put all of this together, the humility, the ownership, the hard work, the will, it all comes down to a single fundamental choice. A choice that every single one of us has to make every single day. In the locker room, right before the 2004 Olympic final, the team captain, Jiva, wrote this on the whiteboard. This is that sense of deserving brought to life. It's not arrogance.
It's a statement of fact that was earned through thousands of hours of sacrifice. And you only get to feel that way by choosing to go through a certain kind of pain. You see, Bernardino's philosophy is that you really only face two kinds of pain in life. First, there is the pain of discipline. That's the soreness after a workout, the sacrifice of getting up early. It hurts, but it's temporary. It weighs ounces. Then there's the pain of regret. That's the what if. That's knowing you didn't give it your all. That pain is permanent. And trust me, it weighs tons.
The pain of discipline, that's a choice. You choose to take it on because you're chasing something great. But the pain of regret, that's not a choice. That's a consequence you have to live with because you dodged the hard work. And every day in everything you do, you're choosing between those two.
And so the entire mindset of one of the world's greatest winners boils down to this one simple, powerful, and totally inescapable question for all of us. Which pain are you willing to carry?